In the audience quadrant, providing an audience for the views of young people is of vital importance to ensure that young people feel listened to and their views are taken seriously. It reduces tokenism and shows the commitment to the youth participation process. You might be the person with the responsibility to listen, but there must also be a commitment to act on the information received. Remember to think about who the person with the responsibility to listen might be.
Influence is the most important part of the Lundy Model, as it ensures participation has come full circle. After your consultation with your young people, you should ask yourselves, what has been done with the information that was recorded via that consultation or conversation? Is your role to ensure connections are made and dialogues are established? Children and young people should feel like the views have been listened to, considered and taken seriously. It is important to communicate so that everyone is fully informed. Feedback is vital to the integrity of the process.
So the table mat activity is a great activity under the Audience and Influence Quadrant of the Lundy Model. It takes around 30 minutes and you're going to need flip chart paper and markers. The purpose of this activity is to find a solution to an issue and to identify the key stakeholders who can influence positive change. The first thing you're going to do is separate your group of young people into smaller groups of 4 or 5. Give each group a marker and a piece of flip chart paper. And then you're going to ask them to draw 3 circles, each circle bigger than the last with the same center point, so your end result should look like a target. Then you're going to ask them to do 3 things. The first thing to do is to identify a topic for discussion and things that you want to see change about this topic. And you're going to ask them to write that in the middle circle. The second thing you're going to ask them to do is to identify what actions need to take place for these changes to happen. And then they're going to ask them to write these actions in the second circle. The third thing you're going to ask them to do is to identify what are the key stakeholders involved and who are the main decision makers that can have positive influence over this topic. And you're going to write their names in the final circle. And once they finish discussing this at length and they've all had a chance to share their ideas, you're going to bring them back as a main group and nominate one person from each group to share what they have written. So as the facilitator, you should take notes on all ideas said and put these notes together to form a presentation or report. Then you identify which ideas are actionable, and if they are, excellent. You pass them on to the relevant decision maker as a recommendation from a group of young people. And if they aren't, you have to go back to the group of young people and explain to them why this action could not move forward. It is really important to feed back to the young people if their idea isn't conceivable. This completes the process of participation, and it makes young people feel as though their ideas were given real consideration. So remember to have an icebreaker at the beginning of your meeting with young people. They're a fun way to help people get energized and motivated, and they definitely help people in the group to get to know each other better before you start your meeting.
So I'd really like to say thanks to TUSLA for their support with the project all through the years from 2016 onwards, and particularly the Child and Youth Participation Seed funding that Sligo Leitrim SIPC has been able to access. I'd also like to thank my colleagues in Feroga, specifically Anne-Marie Regan and Elaine Granahan, who've been working a lot in direct contact with children over the years, certainly since 2018. It's been a long journey. And then finally to just thank the young people themselves who've participated in various strands of this project. Without their contribution, the lab wouldn't have grown to be the thing that it is today.